working for a mobile first company, really like a product company, is like a dream for any like product focused iOS engineer, because you go into this career, wanting to build something that people actually use in their hands. Because our mobile team is a little smaller than a lot of big companies, you actually get to have an impact on an actual product in actual users' hands and drive results forward.
Welcome back to the DraftKings Live podcast. I'm Rebecca, a recruitment marketing specialist.
And I'm Max DeMorte, talent acquisition specialist.
And we're highlighting a team that builds our native iOS and Android applications. These engineers develop and support our core platforms and products like Sportsbook and iGaming.
And we're excited today to introduce two mobile engineers, Tumri and Daniel, to the DraftKings Live podcast. Welcome.
Hi, my name's Tumri. I'm a senior lead software engineer working in the fantasy iOS apps, mostly on Pick 6 recently, but in the past, DFS.
Yeah, hi, I'm Daniel's son. I'm a software engineering manager for one of the casino teams, and I manage a team of both iOS and Android engineers.
Could you both just talk a little bit more about your day-to-day and what does that look like?
My day-to-day is mostly just IC work. So, we working with product closely, figuring out requirements and shipping new iOS features. Last year, we had a lot of hectic new greenfield project building because we were building out Pick 6. So it's really a mix of things. As we get closer to a launch of something, we might have a war room or something going on where we're just ramping up, saying okay, we got to fix these issues. Other days it's chill. I come in, I'm like, okay, I'll pick up a ticket, do it at some point, go on about my day.
Sounds great.
Nice.
Yeah, so for me, as an engineering manager and a people leader, my job is to really make sure that my team is performing at the highest level they can be. So that involves coaching, removing any obstacles, communicating with stakeholders, senior leadership. We work in 2-week sprints and we plan our features quarterly. So right now we're in the middle of a big project with a migration effort. We're migrating off of one technology onto a fully native app. So that's what my team is focused on right now.
Great. And so what would you say, what languages are you typically using?
We use Swift exclusively on iOS right now. We also have a little bit of Objective-C code, but that's all legacy stuff we're getting rid of over time. And it's almost inconsequential how much it is now. And it's only in the DFS app. So Swift all the way.
Yeah, and for the Android side, we're actually currently migrating onto Kotlin. We were on a hybrid platform before where we were using C#. So now it's just going to be strictly Swift and Kotlin going forward.
And we're such a mobile-first company. So why is it unique to work here when we really do focus so much on our products and that experience with our customers?
I think part of the working for a mobile first company, really like a product company, is like a dream for any product focused iOS engineer, because you go into this career, wanting to build something that people actually use in their hands. And, there's a lot of iOS developers that are working on, button color changes or whatever, but because our mobile team is a little smaller than a lot of big companies, you actually get to have an impact on an actual product in actual users' hands and drive results forward. So one of the exciting things is just being able to ship things that are sizable features that your users actually will give feedback on. So.
Yeah, and I think what's unique about DraftKings is that we're a tech first company. So definitely understand that mobile apps give a very personalized and intimate user experience. So if you look at other companies, they tend to go maybe web first, another application first, because it's either cheaper or faster. But at DraftKings, we kind of understand technology better, and we try to focus on that user experience and make sure that they are getting the best product.
Great. And so you both obviously work on two different products. I would ask, from a candidate perspective, what are the similarities and what are the differences between the two teams?
Well, the fantasy team is kind of split up into two. There's the DFS app, which is our oldest running app, obviously. And we have this new Pick 6 app that I'm kind of focused on more recently. It's a completely Swift UI, it's written in Swift, obviously, app that we built out last year, launched in December. And we're just rapidly shipping new features now because we're just kind of ramping up on new sports, new features, new things that we want to do with the app. So yeah, exciting time, I think.
Yeah, so I think kind of on a high level, each product in each department kind of has their own processes on how we release and how we develop. But I think what we have in common is that culture of ownership and high quality and that customer focused experience.
And I know you both work on many different projects across the company, but what's your favorite part of your job?
I'd say my favorite part of my job is really just getting to work on something that is meaningful, I guess. Like I mentioned before, like the dream for someone that's like more product focused, UI focused, and I think most UI engineers are product focused. We want to be able to ship something that's like not a button color change. We don't want to write like a 20-page product spec to like change the color of like a header, you know? And one thing that's really good about DraftKings is we have so many different products and we take so many moonshots that you're always kind of working on something that's sizable. You're not working on something that's tiny and no one's going to see it. Like, but when you build something here, you're building something that actually has excitement behind it. Like when we launched Pick 6, like the CEO and the co-founders came into the room and were like, wow, this is awesome. They were checking it out. They were looking at it. They were, you know, looking at our work and saying, wow, that's great, right? And that's a great feeling to be able to have everyone from the top down look at something you built and say, that's awesome.
I was going to say, just for a follow-up too, with Pick 6, we just launched that in December. How did it feel to be such an integral part of that project and to see it launch from first idea to now a full product to now even getting feedback from the product? Like, what has that been like for you?
Oh, it's been awesome all the way through. I mean, it was a little hectic in the beginning because, you know, the product itself was supposed to be a feature in DFS originally, and then it eventually became its own app because that's just what made sense. The cycle of like someone in product thinks this should exist, and then they talk to us directly. We're like, okay, this is what it would take, and then we make it happen. Just being able to have that like feedback loop that was very engaged between product and engineering has been really great.
For me, I love working with people. I love solving problems. As an engineering manager, get to do that on a daily basis. I work with really smart people and help them solve really unique technical problems. At the end of the day, I'm still an engineer, so solving problems and solving technical things makes me happy. So I think that's the best part of my job is getting to work with engineers and seeing our products being released out and users being able to use them and giving us the feedback that we get.
Daniel, you mentioned also earlier the culture of ownership. I'm curious to hear a little bit more about sort of the culture of both your team and the department in general.
Yeah, sure. I think the culture of my team is, you know, we're all team players. I think for me, the qualities I look for in an ideal team player is you got to be hungry, humble, and smart. Humble that you don't know everything, but you're willing to learn. Hungry that you're ambitious, and smart that you have a foundation of computer science and technology that you're able to learn new things, right? So I think on a team level, those three qualities are what I look for and are the kind of the core foundation of our culture on the team. Just kind of zooming out a little bit to our department, we take a lot of pride and ownership in our products, and we feel very proud of it. And that's why everybody kind of pitches in. Even when they're not directly responsible for something, they're always kind of chiming in on features, things like that. So we're very much like owners in our own domain.
Yeah, I'd say we just have a get stuff done culture overall and around the company. Really, like people actually care about the end result. We're not a ticket pushing company, I guess, is what I really like. Is like engineers here that I've worked with actually care about the end result more than I did 30 points of work this sprint. They instead talk in terms of like, this is what I did this sprint and this is what it delivered to the customer. And that's been very refreshing coming from like plenty of friends talk about how they're just lost in this maze of Jira, right? And we just don't have that. We have a culture that's really focused on driving the end result, and that's refreshing to see as an engineer.
But jumping into a little bit more on the product side of things, what's something that you both have worked on in your years here at DraftKings that you're really proud of?
I'd say the thing I'm most proud of, and I keep coming back to this, is launching Pick 6 last year was freaking awesome. Like, back in July, we were thinking, oh, there's no way we're going to ship this thing by November. We all came together. We did these hackathons where literally there was like 5 to 8 of us in a Zoom call, all just basically just pair programming. And like, oh, hey, Brandon, what did you work on? What are you working on right now? It's like, oh, I'm working on this. I'm stuck on this though. And we're just like collaborating in real time in like a startup kind of environment almost, where it's like, you know, I've done early stage startups before where there is literally a round table that we are sitting around and doing this exact thing. And being able to do that in a big company was freaking awesome. The end result has been amazing, I think. We had almost no real like major like blow ups since launch, which was really awesome considering we were cutting it really close to the wire with the last minute bug fixes, the last minute everything really. I mean, the whole thing was last minute, to be honest. And that's kind of exciting, right? Like it's like being part of a team that really is like competing to get something done almost, you know, in order to meet a deadline. That was really awesome to work on. In the past, I worked on a bunch of other projects that had it similar, but like lesser kind of feel of this, kind of a similar feel, but like to a lesser extent. So yeah, overall, Pick 6 is the big thing I'm proud of. Last year and just overall my whole career here, I've been here for 5 years, and that's the one thing I'm really proud of.
Good for you.
Yeah, so for me, one thing that I'm really proud of is actually a project that we're currently working on. It's the migration project. We're migrating off of one technology and going fully native. Not very exciting from a user standpoint, but this is all underneath the hood. But when we're done with it, we're going to be able to do a lot more things and a lot more efficiently. And we're going to be able to make performance improvements. We're going to be able to add features more quickly and more stable. So, you know, that's something that's really exciting to me. And with a short timeline that we had to get it out in less than a year. So just being able to rewrite an entire app of that size and magnitude and being able to release in under a year, I think is
congrats. Congrats to both of you too. Those are two really big accomplishments.
Great. So as a recruiter, I always like to come back to the candidate question, which is, I guess in this case, I'm curious to hear if you have any advice that you can give to candidates, maybe applying to roles at DraftKings, just any general career advice you can give out.
I'd say in terms of if they're interviewing with us, like the one thing to keep in mind is like our interview is not particularly looking for someone who ticks all the boxes. Like I've been on many like review sessions where what really matters and the thing that kind of separates our recruiting process from other companies is we don't care if you actually solve the problem very often. We care about your thought process. So like, unlike a lot of companies where it's like, oh, you missed a semicolon there, fail, get out, gone. We're like, okay, this guy didn't actually solve the problem, but his thought process is really great. His solution to the problem was unique and thoughtful. And this is someone I could see myself working with and actually building something reasonable without issue. So that's what we're looking for. And I think that's what makes us it's kind of our strength is we recruit people that maybe are not like super perfect in terms of like ticking all the boxes, but drive results.
Love that.
Yeah, just to kind of add on to that, I always remember a quote that's actually on a wall in our Boston office. That's I think it's from Michael Jordan. It says, "Talent wins games, but teamwork wins championships." Right. So, you know, I look for good team members to have on the team. You know, you could be the smartest engineer in the world, but if you can't work with anybody, it's not somebody that we want working with us. Right. So, you know, definitely like look for those kind of qualities, you know, good team players.
Fantastic. And one thing here at DraftKings, our slogan is "The crown is yours." What does that mean for you in your own career?
I think the thing that I've kind of learned here more than anywhere else is just being able to take charge of your own career and being able to like advocate for yourself, take on things that other people don't want to take on, and be able to succeed in a way that you might not get the chance to do elsewhere. So I'd say the thing is like just drive your own results, take on things that other people don't want to do, and show that you can do it and that you drove a result forward by your own intuition and your own hard work.
Awesome.
Yeah, I would say be intentional with your career goals. Figure out what skill gaps that you need to demonstrate to move forward in your career. Something I like to ask my direct reports is, what's the last position that you won at DraftKings? And knowing kind of where you want to go will help you know what the next steps are. So whenever I'm setting goals, either with myself or with my team, I always kind of look at the big picture.
Awesome. Well, this sounds like a very exciting team to be on, very innovative. And if you want to grow your career, you want to be here at DraftKings if you're iOS or Android mobile engineer.
Thank you again both so much for your time. Really appreciate all the insight. I know I learned a lot. Hopefully everyone listening did as well. Again, thanks a lot.
And thank you for listening. Make sure to follow us on social media at DraftKings Life, except for LinkedIn, where we're simply DraftKings. This podcast is available on all major podcast platforms, Apple, Spotify, Google. We got you. Be sure to download, listen, and even throw us a 5-star rating. Thanks so much and have a great day.
Bye.